Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
If you've been hurt in a road accident that wasn't your fault, you should really talk to G4 Claims first. Unlike road accident solicitors, we don't charge you for our services, which could see you better off. To keep 100% of your compensation, have a chat with Nicole and the team. You'll be glad you did. Search online for G4 Claims.
Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sellik, the Thunder podcast. It could be the last ever one with it. Might be the end of the world soon. The way it's gone. That'll be Kieran's crossing his fingers. No, it's scaremonger. If you're watching and you're a younger viewer, the world will be fine. Totally not going to be World War III anytime soon.
Just a loan spell I was having here.
Dylan's gone before he's even got started. Hello and welcome to the Celtic the Thunder. We're back following our wee international break, and happily the international break is behind us. It's the last one until March time, so we should be here as many weeks as we can over the next however many months, and I'm sure it'll get interesting. So today's a full house, and I better get on with the show so we're not sitting here all day. I'll start over the far side of the couch and work my way in. So I'll start with Mr. Kieran Auld. Kieran, you're back. Are you back with a bang?
I've got some wild takes prepared for this episode of the podcast, but I want to address the fact I've came for work. And I'm not here doing my best Xavi Alonso impression. I'm not here trying to play pure inventive football in the Bundesliga.
Do you know, I would have went this whole episode without realising that you're dressed quite formally. I didn't even cock onto that there until you mentioned it.
I need to dress to impress, man. I don't want Dylan kicking us off a podcast.
It's a nice attire, I like it.
I hope the people at work liked it as well.
The Celtic Thunder is now enforcing a strict dress code, so that's why. Beside him is Dylan, who is not following the strict dress code. But
Golf here, man.
How you doing, Dylan?
I'm alright. I'm just glad to be back and glad international break's over and back to the main football. Celtic is back, so aye.
I have struggled for the last couple of weeks, not gonna lie.
It was a wee bit better last time, wasn't it? 2 wins for Scotland. Still you want Celtic back.
Right, I mean, we've got Champions League coming up so soon. Obviously Tynecastle is one of the exciting games. Scotland done well, to be fair. I'll give them their credit, but it's nice to see them. Nice to see it. And then finally, over on the left-hand side of the couch, it's the one, the only, Mr. Adidas himself, Calum Craig. I love that top.
I bought it not long before going away, to New York and such, but then the first time I got to wear it was when we went to Atlanta. So
just as well Donald Trump never seen you when you were in New York, man. He did.
Part right back here.
Yeah, he did have a fit, man. How's yourself, anyway?
Okay, good. Also, just all the usual nonsense, working away, but glad Celtic's back and no more internationals to March.
I'm buzzing. I'm so buzzing. Like, I can't. Do you know how boring? I mean, just generally to kick off the podcast, it's been a fucking eerily quiet couple of weeks for Celtic. There's been nothing. Kieran, you know it yourself from trying to write articles and whatnot. It's just been a very, very dim fortnight.
See, we did kind of predict it as well, but on the last podcast, saying, we'll be back unless something major happens to bring us back early. But man, nothing's going to happen in that international break. There was talk that maybe contract situations would have been clearer by the time we came back, but absolutely nothing on that. So
we should have done an emergency podcast last night when the news came about Ukraine launching missiles. We should have done that. That would have been a good wee change. But aye, listen. We're going to try and talk about whatever we can today. It's essentially just a wee preview, catching up, seeing what we've missed, Q&A, quizzes, the usual. So strap yourselves in. As always, please make sure to go down below, hit like, hit subscribe, and if you're on Spotify listening, make sure to rate us 5 stars. We want to see that number boosting up. I don't know where it's at now, but we want to see it continue to rise. Quiet couple of weeks, but things will start to pick up now. We're into December nearly. So this period now between here and the end of December is always the busiest part of the season. The usual winter congestion is coming, Dylan. And Celtic go into it in a lot healthier a position in which they did last year. This time last year, Celtic were not playing very well. People were worried about the fixtures we had. this time round, seems it's a lot calmer, and we're actually relishing these games.
Aye, it's definitely a good. So I was thinking about it today. It was like last time we met Hearts, we get beaten. We always struggle at Tynecastle, but as you said, we've been a lot more comfortable this season, and I was a bit annoyed that the international break was coming up again, because obviously seen beat Leipzig, beat Aberdeen, beat Kelly. We were like going to these places comfortable. Kelly was not as comfortable as other ones, but I got the job done, and I hope it happens again at Tynecastle this time.
It's interesting you bring up the Kelly game, because that was the game where we probably struggled the most all season. We've played pretty well everywhere we've went, and that was the game where we maybe got kind of grounded a wee bit, in the sense that, okay, there's still challenges all throughout this league. Kilmarnock are not having the greatest season. They still took us to task a little bit. Do you think that this couple of weeks, despite it coming at maybe an awkward time, has allowed the team maybe to recharge and find what went wrong in that game?
Aye, hopefully it's worked that way as well. It could go both ways, but hopefully, because you've got Hearts and then Club Brugge, so 2 big games to come back to right away. So hopefully Celtic just continue from where they left off and get the job done. So it's something to look forward to.
Tynecastle, that's where we start. And normally, if I was going into a Tynecastle game in December, I would be a little bit more worried than I am. But it's a completely different Hearts. We're looking at Calum. We're looking at a Hearts who have famously struggled this season and could very much be in a relegation battle if they keep going the way they're going. But it's still Tynecastle. It's still a tough game, and obviously, when Celtic's in town, Hearts change. It's not the same old Hearts. They will raise the standard of play. They will try and get a result at a Celtic. There is that kind of mini rivalry that exists there. So, yeah, kick us off with the weekend and just generally how you're feeling going into the game.
I mean, I think it's just Hearts' best performance this season, from what I've really not looked much at them, but it was the opening game of the season against our side of the city.
I'd agree.
So again, I think it will just be a very compact Hearts. I don't see them coming out and try to play football. I mean, they've tried to do it the last couple of weeks since they've got a new manager in, but I think he'll definitely obviously take a look at Celtic in and out of Europe and just seeing sort of how good we are going forward. I think it will be quite a sluggish game, but should be a win.
It should be a win. And you said obviously you've not watched too much in Hearts this season, and I think that would maybe speak for all of us on the couch, because I'm the same. You can only really watch what's given to you, and it's not as if they're on Sky every week, so we can only see bits and bobs. But what has been your first impressions of the new manager, of the new regime over there, and how things have changed? Because it doesn't feel like it's changed entirely. There's still a bit of a... there was ups in Europe. They obviously done pretty well, and then right back down to earth in the league. What's been your first impressions?
I think it's just kind of, they definitely did get that sort of the new manager bounce cliche, like they came in, get a couple of wee results here and there. I think obviously we'll be looking to impress. I think if you're a Hearts fan, you can expect defeat, but you expect to be a very defensive performance. I wouldn't really expect them to be kind of attacking. It will be a very counter-attacking game. But again, obviously they can only try and be as positive as possible, but I think hopefully should be better than enough. It's
interesting you bring up counter-attacking. That's Kieran, I'll come at you and then we can just kind of open the floor to chip in. It's interesting when you look at this now, because Kelly kind of showed that, once again, maybe just taking the game to Celtic is the best approach to go with. And I know Rugby Park and Tynecastle are 2 completely different places. I expect Hearts to attack the game the way that Calum's mentioned. I expect them to kind of sit deeper the way that they've been this season. I don't think they've got really the metal in them to maybe test themselves that much. But Kelly haven't had a great season, and they're the first team this year to really outclass Celtic in terms of the statistics and just the general play of the sort of flow of the game. So if Hearts have done their homework, maybe they'll change things. I don't know. What are you expecting?
I mean, I don't think I've ever went to Tynecastle and expected a Hearts team to sit in against Celtic and let us play our brand of football. I think you always go there expecting. Like you said before, they raised the level. Obviously, it's a huge game for them. Especially a night-time game, their fans will be right up for it. They'll have been on the bevy all day.
I know, I've even mentioned it as a Saturday quarter to 8
kick-off. It'll be a...
I thought I got Prover right dafty on my members only stream last night, because somebody was asking me why is it a quarter to 8, and I was like, Premier. It's not even fucking on Premier, on Sky. It's on Sky.
I've been telling people in work.
I was so confident. Somebody's like, why is it Saturday 7:45? I was like, it's on Premier. You just get used to it. You see a lot of movies, it's Premier, and somebody's like, Ryan, it's on Sky. I was like, no. I was like, no, it's on Premier. I went, wait, I'll show you. And I get up football, and I was like, oh, it's on Sky.
Man, all these people I talked into buying Premier.
I hope none of them went away and actually bought the membership.
But nah, it's one of the games where you expect, as you were talking about the Kelly game, they did bring the game to us. They they've certainly hammered a goal. Kasper Schmeichel's on great form. I think you're going to need another performance like that. Hopefully.
So you're expecting them to have chances?
I mean, they're going to have chances in the game. I'm not saying they're going to run right the way Kelly did in certain points of that game, but I think as you raise the point, it is a very different thing, Rugby Park surface to Tynecastle. Both quite narrow pitches and that, but obviously it's a different kettle of fish playing on the 4G. But, I mean, this is Neil Critchley's first time coming up against Brendan Rodgers. Previously worked under him at Liverpool.
Right.
He was a youth academy.
Interesting dynamic.
Different positions within Liverpool's academy system for 7 years. Speaks quite highly of Brendan Rodgers, but I'm pretty sure any pleasantries before the game will be gone by full time.
It seems to be like whoever is in the Hearts job has to have like a rivalry with the Celtic manager. That just seems like part of the job now. But it's in the description.
I'm looking forward to the game. As you said, we're going into this period of the season where there's going to be a lot of fixtures. I think you maybe see a wee bit of rotation in the squad coming in the coming weeks. Obviously, maybe not too much because we've seen how just a few main players out of the team can sort of shift the dynamic of the way we play. But talk about confidence, but the way we went into it last season, you said we were fearful. This is the exact sort of spell of games where we saw ourselves lose at Rugby Park and lose at home to Hearts last year. So it does feel like a sort of night and day situation, the way we're feeling going into the games, but it's also thinking we've also got Aberdeen to compete with now that are obviously levelling points with us. This is a major point in the season for them as well to say we can keep up with Celtic. If they can come through that the exact same record as us until we play each other, obviously start of December up at Pittodrie, but it's going to be a big few weeks in terms of hopefully Celtic putting a bit of distance between ourselves and Aberdeen.
It is. It's massive when you think about it, the importance of starting this off in the right foot. When you think about how many games that we've got coming up, and you've put it really well out. I mean, I'll get the exact numbers up in a second, how many games we've got between now and the new year. But Dylan, how important is it that we, I think that Celtic fans are in a very spoilt place right now where, because the state that Rangers are in, and because a lot of people maybe aren't taking Aberdeen seriously yet, especially when we've just beat them 6-0, I think a lot of people have maybe got that calmness in their mind that it's like, even if we were to drop points at Tynecastle tomorrow, it's okay. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world. But how important is it that we just go out there and we start off this fixture run with a big win?
100%, because it's that way. You want to start off with a bang, because obviously Hearts, as Kieran touched on, we struggled there this time last year. It was Celtic Park is the way we get beat, but to go to Tynecastle and get the win would be a real good way to start off this run of fixtures, especially as I talk about there's the international break now, so it'd be good to just start off with a win at Tynecastle, get into the Champions League with a bit of confidence like we did the last time against Leipzig, maybe that Aberdeen one. So if you just carry on doing that, and then it puts the pressure back on not just Aberdeen but Rangers, because obviously they're trying to keep the ground. It's 9 points a lot, but they need to stay in touch now. And I hopefully Aberdeen have a wee slip up here and there in this run, because they're not really used to the big run of fixtures within a sort of mini title race now. So I think it still favours Celtic because we're obviously got the experience in that. But it'll just be interesting to see how we approach it if we win. But even if, as you said, if we don't win, it's not the end of the world, because there's still a lot of games to go, and we'll see if Aberdeen can keep it.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, Aberdeen in this position, who'd have thought it, really? So it's going to be really weird to see how they react in this period, because it's new to them.
Even in terms of the thing with Rangers, but like, you want to be going into that game at Ibrox when it was the 2nd of January, you want to be going in with the current gap at least, because we could say it doesn't really matter if we lose one game or something, but you want to try and put as much of a distance between yourselves as possible.
Because if you drop 3 points in one of these games, and then Rangers keep winning, and then they beat you Ibrox, suddenly 9 points is turned to 3 points somewhere along the way, and you just want to avoid that happening altogether. You want to avoid that conversation.
I can't be asked me what happened last year with them getting themselves all up for it again and thinking they were in the driving seat. Like, I don't want to be
can I actually be a bit of a dick and say for the first time ever, I think the gap will be bigger by the time we get to January. I
certainly hope so.
I think they'll be 12.
Who have they even got on Saturday?
They have, just let me double, Dundee United. I think they could be up to 15 points behind Celtic. Aberdeen have got
15.
Yeah, I think they could be up to 15 points behind Sellik by that game. I'm not saying it will be. I think they could be. Aberdeen have got. Sorry, it's taking its time here. St Mirren away. So tough games.
Awkward, by the way.
Tough games. So Calum, I'll get the stats to back up what we're kind of looking at here, including that game on the 2nd of January against Rangers. We have 11 games from now until then, so that's 11 games in just over a month. This is going to be really
11 in the league so far as well, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is obviously 11 games, which include two Champions League games and a cup final, so 8 league games, 3 cup competitions. This is going to be really, really important for a lot of this squad. We've seen players like Cameron Carter-Vickers who've really struggled this year. He's been in and out with injuries. The games have been all too much. I mean, even at Rugby Park, Brendan Rodgers spoke about the fatigue in his knee and he didn't want to risk him, and I think it was probably the smartest idea. But he's not the only one. He's the easy target to go for. There's been a few players that have just been fatigued, and so team management is going to be so vital in this period. And it's going to be one of those, I think every week when we do this podcast, it's going to be a case of who comes in, who drops out. Do you think we're well equipped moving into this part? Do you think of the season? Do you think that the team's ready? And how confident are you of that squad management for now between now and January?
Oh no, 100%. I think this is where the squad depth definitely will come into show. I think we're probably in the best position possible in terms of obviously a couple of wee injuries here or there, but it's nothing major. As you touched on there with Carter-Vickers with his knee, I think his is just a case of, I think we'll see him like play a game, miss a game, play a game, miss a game, especially in this run. And we're trying to sort of reserve him for the bigger games, the games where we can look to potentially afford to drop him, because that's not always comes back to bite you. But the games where you think you can sort of manage without him, and then I think we will see definitely a lot of rotation. I think even more so within that midfield three, because again, when you've got that big run of games, especially 2 European games, a cup final in there, I think we will see the likes of Luke McCowan and such sort of get a bit more game time as well.
He's one that's been burning a lot of conversation over the last week when there's been nothing to talk about. It's like, will McCowan get the start at Tynecastle because the Japanese lads might be a bit tired and Hitate's just coming back from the East, and there's so many conversations to weigh up.
I get that, but I think Hitate's played like
11 minutes or something. That's what I said in my stream. I was like,
it's the toll it takes travelling and such. But I mean,
they're professionals. Professionals. They should be.
You're jet lagged. It turns up to Tynecastle with the nightcap.
We were saying that about Rogic when we were trying to get him back for the 3-0 games. He might be jet lagged. Stand on the bench.
I'm like, it is a very valid excuse. I mean, travelling's no nice. I mean, I struggle to walk about anywhere after a fucking 2-hour flight, let alone fucking 16, 20 hours, whatever you're doing. Like, it's tough. But these guys have signed up for the task, and it's no. I'm
not going to talk about it. I got jet lag coming back from London, so.
What was I going to say there? It's already clear to see what they're going to end up doing with Vickers in the next. I can actually pinpoint what the centre half situation is going to be over the next 3 games. I think Vickers will start this weekend. He'll start midweek. Ross County at home next Saturday. It'll be Skills and Trusty. I can just see it. I think that's what will happen. I think it's quite. I mean, probably won't be now.
Talk about like the strength in our squad depth. I do think we've got a good squad depth, pretty much. But there's obviously a couple of still positions I can see. Like you look at, I mean, God forbid, Alistair Johnson was to get injured. Then you've got Ralston starting at right back, and people might say, Alex Bailey might go out to right back position. But I mean, was that kind of crushed when Ralston started the game against is it Dundee, the midweek one? We thought, maybe he'll play out in the right, and then it was Ralston. So I was thinking the same about. I mean, God forbid Maida was to get the winger situation as well,
Palmer,
because Palmer's really not been at it this season, and
he scored 2 for Honduras.
Aye, do for Honduras.
But you're right. It is. There's obviously areas where you just need to kind of you're wrapping players in bubble wrap and making sure that they get through these games. I think we will handle it. And the thing is, for a domestic level, at the end of the day, every player part of the squad should be able to, cut it. They should, simple as that. They might be the best players in the country at the end of the day. It's all just about kind of hoping and praying. I think you've got that wee bit of hope and a prayer that we just don't collapse. I hope no, anyway. There was a point I was going to bring up though, and it's completely escaped me, and it will irritate the life out of me. It's gone. Great content now. So let's kind of focus on the team for Saturday with all these things that we've talked about. Cameron Carter-Vickers coming back from injury. The Japanese lads coming back from international break, even the likes of Alistair Johnson coming back from international break over in North America. So there's a lot of things to weigh up. how much will the team change? Kasper Schmeichel, of course, will remain in goals. Calum, what do you think the back four will be going into this game?
Yeah. I think probably.
Or should I start with the question, actually, who would you start at left back? I think that's probably the biggest conversation that comes out
I think
of...
for me just now, I'd probably go down the route of Bally.
You're sticking with
For
Bally,
me,
yeah?
Personally, I don't think he's really done much wrong. Obviously, that be kind of rocky start, but he's got well past that. And again, I feel like Greg Taylor's another one, obviously coming back from his injury. We kind of need to nurse that a wee bit as well. We've seen him against Leipzig. Again, it started, I thought it was a bit off, I don't know. But he kind of grew himself into the game.
Aye.
But it's just all, as you said, about injury and man management.
Do you think that Bally starting on Saturday would be important, considering the Bruges game is on Wednesday, and you've got that whole dynamic of, well, it looked as though in Europe Bally was doing better than Taylor, so give him the minutes before that game. Would you give him a start for that reason as well?
I think more so, yeah. If obviously Rodgers knows them better than ourselves, he sees them every day. But I think more so, even if you're giving him say the likes of 60 minutes, keeps the legs going, gets him a run out, and then if you're in a good position, Taylor comes in and sees out in the last 30 type situation, I'd be more than happy with that. And then if he is to then obviously get the start in Europe.
What we used to Taylor or Valley? Who are you kind of leaning towards at the minute?
I would probably want Valley, to be honest, but I think it was the Aberdeen game. I'm sure he started Valley and then he put Taylor into the Champions League game. Is that right? So I don't know if he might do that again, but it's an interesting one.
That was it. Yes, that was the game. It was like everybody was like, oh, it was the League Cup semi, and I'm like, oh, Valley's starting. Taylor was dropped. It was a big kind of eyebrow raiser. So it's going to be interesting to see, but he does go away on Wednesday.
I think that will be the case. I think you'll see Alex Barry on Saturday. Greg Taylor, I think, will be earmarked to be starting on Wednesday against Bruges.
Yep.
But, I mean, if Alex Barry puts in the performances live, then that could maybe change things. But that, just with Dylan saying that, I think that could be the way Rodgers might be approaching this run of fixtures.
On that note, what did you make of the rumours of Alex Barley? Apparently Barcelona are pretty interested in bringing him back. Does that worry any of you? Do you take it seriously?
No, at the current moment, but I'm like, did you not see the man go to a duck?
I know. Listen, everybody was getting their knickers in a twist on one of my streams, like, oh, they're going to take him back. And like, right, number one, it was one report, and like, calm down, right? It's just it said they might consider bringing him back. They didn't say they were going to. And number two, like, at the end of the day, that release clause is still in his contract, which they have no option about. Like, and if he wants to move back here, Barcelona could hypothetically recall him as we speak, and Celtic could bid the next day, trigger that $3.5 million clause, and Barcelona can do nothing about it but offer him another contract. They would have to give him however much money to keep him. So I'm not as worried as what some other people are. I think it's a wee bit of scaremongering, if you ask me. Yeah. Tactics. But alongside, we kind of got distracted there. Back four. So you would go with Bally, and then I'm assuming the other three would be the
Trusty Carter, Vickers, Jones.
Yeah. I never would have thought I'd see the day where we had two American centre halves and a Canadian right back. What a world, What a world. Were you happy with that back four?
I'd be pretty content with that.
Do you think it will be the back four?
I think so, because they started them last time, didn't they? I don't know if it was Scales, wasn't it?
But that was because Vickers was fatigued or whatever.
I think he'll go Vickers, Trusty.
Aye. Right, okay, Dylan, I'll come to you. You're in the middle, midfield three. What would you do? Who would you start? Keeping Wednesday in mind, of course. Is it a chance for Luke McCowan? I don't know. Give me your thoughts.
I guess that way did Bernardo score during international break and all, but
yeah.
I think he's just still going to stick to the Engels, McGregor,
Aye.
I don't care how tired Tati is, he's fucking playing.
That's the thing. If he plays and he plays badly, then cool. You know, it is what it is. Do you know?
Let him go into the dressing room and sleep at half time.
It's true though. Like, I mean, listen, you want to deal with it. I think that listen, I love the shouts of McCowan getting a chance and all the rest of it, but at the end of the day, Celtic have a best 11, and right now Luke McCowan isn't in the best 11, and that's not me being a hater on Luke McCowan.
I'm loving McCowan for the bench.
Same.
The way he comes on, he can change your game right away and give that extra bit of enthusiasm and pace if it's trapped off a wee bit, because he's obviously Celtic fan and he'll just be right up for it all the time.
There's a difference between rotating for the sake of it and then rotation when it's actually needed, and I think a lot of people maybe come off the back of this international break thinking, oh, this is an excuse to start something. We're like, well, let's not disrupt what's building at the same time, because we need a relationship to bond and develop between. We need what O'Reilly and Hatate had now with Engels and Hatate. Just for Hatate to probably leave next year. But, you know what I mean? So, you've just gone for the strongest three, once again, to either side. Would you agree with that? Yeah. And Kieran, I think you've got the easiest job of the ball.
I think the team, for the most part, picks itself.
Yeah.
I think
we've got to that point in the podcast.
I mean, you could sit and have a debate about who's starting up front, but it has to be.
Here's while we're talking about it, I did this is what escaped my mind when I said a minute ago. I was like, there's something I wanted to bring up and this escaped me. How big is the next couple of months for the strikers at Celtic? Because they've both been, dare I say, pretty wank this season. I'm not going to pull any punches here. They've not been good enough. Kyogo's not been good enough. Ida's not been good enough. I mean, we're not far away from Brendan Rodgers looking for another fucking striker, probably. So, Kieran, on the topic of front three, how big is this next 11 games for both of those strikers?
I think one of them's got to take the chance and start grabbing the goals, because I think it's been really good this season getting goals for all of the pitch, and obviously that sort of comes with Brendan Rodgers' style of play, where obviously you're grabbing goals to the midfield, the wingers are chipping in. You've seen it in his first spell with players like Sinclair, and even McGregor back then was grabbing goals for midfield. You're seeing that happen again this season, but back then you still had Dembele and Griffiths that were both kind of firing when they were playing. This year, maybe been a wee bit too reliant on moments of magic from people like Kuhn and Maeda grabbing a hat-trick in the semi-final and things like that. But nah, it has been pretty lacklustre. I mean, I think I could maybe argue that Kyogo does more for the team and he gets away with it a wee bit more than what Ida does, but Ida's maybe seen as somebody that's for hold-up play and that style of football. And as you're right in saying, they've both been a bit wank for
don't pull any punches, Kieran. You gotta be let me. But that's the thing. Like, I think you're nailing the head stuff with, like, you know, both of them bring things to the game which are just as important as scoring goals. Like, yeah, they might not be getting the goals, but I think one of the main things for me is, and this isn't me, I don't want to just lambast Kyogo here because I love him, and some people are getting a bit in the streams, people have been like, get rid of him in January. I'm like, grow up. No. Fucking hell. But one thing I will say about Kyogo in particular is big chances have gone wasted. Big chances have gone wasted, and that's the mark of players who just aren't confident at the minute. So he really needs to find that rhythm again.
It's a wee bit annoying because you know how the levels Kyogo is capable of reaching, and you're seeing him miss these big chances, and you're thinking, would Kyogo 2 seasons ago have fluffed that chance? Probably no. But this would be the perfect time. As you said, 11 games. There's going to be a fair bit of rotation between the two of them. One of them has to step up to the plate, and I don't care who it is. This is like the end of last season. We're having the same argument, but I don't care which striker steps up to the mark. We just need one of them, and because the both of them have both got a place at Celtic still, but I'm not buying any sort of thing about getting rid of any of them. But I'm hoping that's Kyogo's just the one I've got a soft spot for. I love him.
I love both of them.
I love the both of them, but Kyogo just, I think, as I said 2 seconds ago, like, just the fact you know the heights you can reach, and it's frustrating for us as fans, and it must be equally as frustrating
for him,
if no more so for him.
Well, you say that, but he does enjoy making his TikToks. So.
Yeah, he only does it when he scores. So
right.
If he wants his TikToks, knows what it is to do.
Brendan's like, Kyogo, you're not getting TikTok tonight. It's logging you out. I'll give you the password when you score a goal. Changes it every time. Anyway, score predictions to end off the preview segment of the show. You're right, Cal.
Just a thought of that. Just stop at his door.
You're not getting the password tonight, Kyogo. Go home to your bed. See you training on Monday. You wee shit. Score predictions, Kieran.
2-0.
2-0. Clean sheet. Nice. Dylan.
3-1.
Nice. This is McGinley. 7-2. Cam.
7-2. Same as Kieran. 2-0.
Enjoyed that. That was clever. Enjoyed that. I'm going to go for 3-1, which was the same as you, Dylan. I'm going to go 3-1. That's what I had in my head the whole time. I can see Hearts getting a penalty. Just, you know, SFA and all that. John Beaton.
I mean, the last game at Tynecastle was... That was the last game at Tynecastle we played them that was marred by VAR controversy.
The night before,
Brendan fucking
Was that the night before we seen him in the Green Gate Cafe?
throwing back the pints.
Aye, he was pissed.
I hope he never drove through to Edinburgh that day.
Right, half-time quiz, which I believe is Kieran who's hosting it today. I was going to throw something out there about the quizzes, and I've completely forgotten, so I'm just going to let you take it away.
Yeah, I'm going to apologise in advance because this is not the half-time quiz I was hoping it would be. So basically, it's attainable.
Right.
There's more than enough answers for you to get it, but there's a condition here.
Okay.
It's going to be, name me 10 players that have played for both Celtic, and in the spirit of this weekend's game, I would have put Hearts if there was enough, but in the 21st century, name me players that have played for Celtic and Hearts and Hibs.
So any named big
you
clubs.
need to have played for one of them, but I need all of the Hearts ones, which is 4.
Right,
So
okay.
the 4 players that have played
There's
for
only
Celtic
4 that have played for Celtic and Hearts
21st century.
since the year 2000. What the fuck?
You're right to repeat that.
I think so. Anyway.
Cam's been like that, I'm not listening.
I
So
thought-
essentially, it was tenable, and we've got to name players in the 21st century who've played for both. Well, for all 3 of.
No,
Not all 3,
just
but they've
has
got,
to be.
Yeah, so they had to play for Celtic, but they also had to play for Hearts or Hibs.
But I need all the Hearts
But it
ones.
needs all the Hearts players, which is 4 of them.
Right,
And we've got 3 lives.
What do we need the Hearts first? Or is it?
I could do any order.
Aye, you just you could do 6 Hibs and then
Right, Calum.
yeah. Mackay, Stephen.
correct.
Oh, here, that's
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's a good job.
I didn't never have thought of that. That's
Right,
a
the first
cracker.
one I
That's a
thought.
I know,
Should've never
because you
scored,
said the obvious one. I was expecting something.
I was just
not
thinking
that.
because he missed him being the
Aye,
Messi.
aye, I would never have thought of that. Well,
Right.
Calum.
He's a
1 out of
kid, isn't
10.
he? Wasn't he?
Aye, so he was at Hearts and then went to America.
And then came back to
Kelly
Kelly.
going in, back at Kelly
He
now.
came
aye.
on against us all game there. I was like,
Aye.
has that been?
Good shout, Calum. Cracker shout. Right, okay.
Big God.
Aye.
Do it.
That would have been the obvious one.
Aye, that was the one I was expecting to come out your mouth. Get on.
Swell, so I didn't even think of going.
We've got 2 of the Hearts ones, and then obviously Hibs. So Lee Griffiths
Correct.
for Hibs. Right, 3. Stokes.
What?
Nice. Is there only 10 altogether? Or?
No, there's more than 10, including all the ones that played for Hibs. But
So it's going to. There's a cut off.
you can only have 6 that have
Right.
played for.
I was going to say, did Presley?
Oh,
Who's
big
Hearts?
Stephen Presley, aye.
5, correct.
5, so
so
we've
you've
got
got 3 of the Hearts ones.
Come on, boys. Paul Hartley.
Aye, that's the Hearts ones done.
That's the Hearts ones
See,
done.
there's ones that have played for obviously Celtic and Hearts, but it's far fewer than have played for Celtic and Hibs.
So we've got 6 altogether.
So you just need 4 more
And
that
they're all
have played
Hibs
for
players.
Celtic and Hibs. That's a wee easy run in, I feel.
Who? Can't hear you.
No, because I don't want to say it and it's wrong. 'cause
You've
it's
got
like-
3 lives. 3 lives.
Aye, where do you go? See it?
Liam Henderson.
Correct.
It's because cup final.
I don't know if I hope he's know the cut-off point here. Derek Riordan.
No, that's good.
Oh, okay, nice. I'm never there. I've got 2 more to get. You're fine for this, boys. You're quality.
Scott Brown.
Scott Brown. Fucking hell, he's a miss, this.
Oh, we got 9 the last time and failed. So
Aye,
Right.
so we've got 3
There's
lives.
so many options
We'll
here.
bottle
There's
10.
one.
So there's no we could just say any. There's no cut-off point or anything like that.
There's one.
I mean, you
Can't
could say
remember who
one
was at
for a laugh. I might just take a life off and say no, not him. I might do that.
Don't do that. Make up the rules.
I'm trying to remember if he went in a loan spell or not. And I don't know if it was when Lennon was at Hibs.
No, it does. Ooh.
But I don't know. There is
Go. We've got 3 lives.
Chris Commons.
See, I was thinking that.
Correct.
I thought he had a
But
loan
I
spell
didn't want to say Commons because I was like, if I made that up that he played for Hibs, aye.
in between that.
See, like I was trying to think
Oh
like
my
a,
God, aye.
you could have had people like Scott Allen,
Scott Allen,
Fun,
of course, I didn't
forgot
think
about
him.
Effie Ambrose.
Oh, aye.
See, I wanted to like see if I was hoping there would have been more that had played for Celtic and Hearts, but it was only Gordon's, Presley,
That's
Hartley,
nuts,
and-
isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could go back and
Aye,
you had
you-
people like Tosh McKinley who just misses the.
The cut-off.
I was ready to say fucking 99 onwards just
Just to get
include
that
it.
That was good though.
I wanted something like I feel like there's been an abnormal amount of players that have in recent years that have made their debut against Hearts. I was
Scott Sinclair.
Scott Sinclair.
Did Griffiths not make his debut against Hearts or not? Am I making that up?
Aye.
Oh, there you go. I
They
guess.
scored and Nice led out of the home
he
fans.
did, aye.
James McCarthy made his Celtic debut at home to
Did he?
Hearts.
Who's that?
Who else? There was somebody else in that first game of Angie's first season where we got beat.
Starfield.
Starfelt.
Because he had the stinker mind and everybody wrote him off.
Aye.
And
Kyogo came off the bench that night as
Aye,
well to make
that's
his
right.
league debut.
Aye.
You know,
I think it was probably another couple that night as well. I'd imagine.
like
Like,
such a big.
aye,
That
aye.
feels so long ago now, didn't it?
Was that technically Joe Hart's league debut for us as well? Was he
First
here?
game,
No, Bain was in goal for that.
Oh, was
Hearts
he?
signing, I think it was like the following day.
because we played Yablonec.
Oh,
Aye,
and that's
aye.
when and everybody was like,
Aye.
of course, aye.
Wasn't
Scored
some
that game,
save.
Aye. Oh, well, do you know what? Well done, Kieran. I still enjoyed it, even though it was a...
I was going to hold
But
that
he is
and
that.
do just a Hibs one, like when we played them in a couple
So
of
is that
weeks.
what you were saying in the group chat earlier? Aye,
But
right.
then I was like, oh, fuck it, I can't be else making up another one. I was busy this afternoon.
Well, let us know how you got on at home. And on that note, we've got about. I wanted to wrap this episode up in an hour, so we've got about 25 minutes left of time. And there's, apart from questions, it's not as if we've got bucket loads to talk about. But one thing that does happen after or before this podcast will be out is the AGM. The AGM's tomorrow morning at point of recording. By the time this is out, the AGM would have been. And I'm not got any specific questions about the AGM because we're not fucking businessmen at the end of the day. We're not here to talk numbers. We're big picture guys. But is there anything, do you think there's anything that needs to be brought up at the AGM, just as an open question, anything that you think that needs to be addressed, or that you would put, if you were there in the room tomorrow, is there anything that you would ask the club?
Shortage of kebab pies.
Well,
Chat about.
That's been flagged up.
That has. I've seen a couple of people talk about
I feel like I'm the kebab pie SLO.
it. You should change that your handle on Twitter to kebab by SL. I get that brought up. Aye. It's weird. Is this maybe the first time that I think that the club has been positive?
In a positive position for it.
I think there's going to be a lot of talk, maybe about, like, maybe a couple of questions directed about. I mean, there's got to be pure nonsense questions, as always.
There's going to be some guy that stands up and goes, the Rangers this and the Rangers
like,
that.
there'll be plenty
you know?
of that shit as per usual. I think there might be some talk about whether maybe people's objections to the Celtic end and things like that, because it sort of came back into the forefront that was allowed to happen for games. It's after the sort of fallout last season between the Green Brigade and the board and various things after like getting the banning orders and such. So we're kind of at a point now where it might be a topic of conversation again. But see, one thing I've seen a lot of people talk about on Twitter, it's stadium expansion. And I feel like that's going to get brought up, but like
every year.
I really don't see the need for it.
Well, I've made my point clear a million times that I think that 60,000 is pretty much the perfect capacity for Celtic Park, in the sense that I know people are crying, oh, I can't get a ticket for this, I can't get a ticket for that, and a lot of it is maybe down to the season ticket holders, because there's that many season ticket holders, and obviously some people just don't turn up to games and whatever, but we're there on Wednesday nights through the winter, and there's nowhere near 60,000 in the stadium. So I do not see the need in Celtic adding a further 10, 20,000 seats to the stadium that are going to lie empty every winter. And I don't care how passionate you're at home saying, oh, I'd get my ticket, maybe for the first winter. And then it's just going to come to the point where people don't care. I think we have a perfect capacity.
It needs to be a ticket exchange system.
That needs to be introduced first.
Before anything gets discussed. It's like I feel like every other day I'm going on Twitter and seeing like why they, like, say they rendered photos of like the main stand that's like brought up to the same level. I'm putting a 3-tiered one on it. I'm like, oh, honestly, get to fuck. Like,
I think maybe this is, you know how sometimes we do like controversial Celtic opinions. I think one of my controversial Celtic opinions is I think there will be a new Celtic Park before they renovate the main stand. I think they'd rather do that. We're seeing it all happen at Old Trafford right now. Old Trafford, they could redevelop it, but it would cost them fucking millions. So it's cheaper just to build a new stadium, which is going to do them for the next...
I seen somebody like sort of ran the numbers that was like, knew what they were talking about how much it would cost today, where people seem to think it's quite an easy feat to add all this onto the main stand, but I don't personally see a need for it. And
we will be playing at Carling Field before we're playing at a redeveloped Celtic Park, because they'll build a new stadium, they'll sell the naming rights, and you'll cry about it and we'll accept it because we'll need to.
You know what I went asked? Where's the museum? Where's the hotel?
I got rejected, didn't it?
I want it.
Same. I
That's
can't
good,
believe
Peter.
I've never tried to go back and...
Come on.
I know.
I forgot that was a thing.
I know. It's
a
just,
pure fever dream.
I know. It's like...
But what
the
happened to,
photos.
like, were they not meant to be building something up at the Jockstein stand, like a music venue or something? There was like something Glasgow City Council planned to build something up that end. I don't think it was for Celtic, but it was something meant to be getting built up there. But honestly, all these, like, see in my head, and I'm thinking about all these mad like images I've seen that have been computer generated. I'm like, none of them seem real anywhere. Like the fucking stadium with the hotel and that outside. I'm like, did I just dream all of this?
I always get reminded of it for a video that I done years ago, and I see it in the thumbnail. I'm like, oh my god, I thought that was actually meant to happen.
Imagine staying in the Celtic hotel.
Wasn't your virginity in the Celtic hotel?
Once again, Ryan, this is not a Thunder Club.
Anyway, anything else at the AGM? Anything at all? Dylan, you think anything?
Nah, I think the Celtic game was the only one that kept my head there, but should call something the Brendan Boulevard after he wins his...
the Boulevard of Brendan Dreams.
Imagine his reaction to that, man. His ego would just go so far.
Listen, one of the questions I keep getting asked at the minute is how long do you think Rodgers will be at Celtic this time? And I'm like, I want him to be here until the point it's like, I want him to be like Ferguson, like 72 years of age, standing in the touchline, giving his speech like, your job now is to stand by your new manager. And then we unveil the Brendan Rodgers stand and he...
Do you want him to get to the point of like Joe Biden, but where he's just walking at a press conference?
And Amazon paid for it. Oh God, I love him. So we'll maybe discuss that in next week's podcast if there's anything significant. But I think it'll be a generally quite calm AGM compared to. What are you looking at?
He's a bit off of us.
I could just see a laughter.
Right. I think it'll be a generally calm transfer window at AGM. I'm fucking helpless now. Right, let's go to Twitter questions, shall we? Kieran, do you want to do it? Oh, what were you going to say?
I know, it's because one thing, it was because we were talking about like wingers and that earlier, because we mentioned Sinclair. See the stats that get put up after the Leipzig game? Fucking how good Sinclair's first 2 seasons were with us. The goals assist return.
Oh,
mate, like, I obviously fucking sit and think about it, like, you think, oh, I was that good. But as soon as you see the numbers there, it's frightening. How good he was.
Because remember we did the team 11, because we were talking about Sinclair and Maida, but see when you're looking at the Sinclair stats, I'm like, my God, that's right. I just forgot how classy it was, man. Like,
somebody had, so I put that up as I don't know if you've noticed, I put that up as an individual video on my channel because I had no content, so I was like, oh, push that out. And somebody had the cheek to comment under it, and if it was you, I'm calling you out. Somebody had the cheek to comment under it, like, Sinclair was a one-trick pony, was good for 1 season, then tailed off. And I was like, sorry, what? Did we just the second season no happen? Like, anyway.
Even if it didn't, I'd accept a fucking one-trick pony. When doing it in, cut in, fucking, so good at taking it. Fucking good. Iron Robin, my right peg.
I loved him. Miss him. Anyway, Kieran.
Right, so I'll start us off with it. We've got a few more questions about the second tweet going up. So we'll start off with Ad the Lad. He said, do you think Stephen Mulhern likes the kebab pie and has the club sorted the shortage issue regarding them?
I have spoken to the relative people at the club and I believe that it should be fixed for the next few games. That's your exclusive.
I'm the SLO here, pal.
No, sorry, I'm taking a joke.
Stephen Mulhern, he's chucked the beef on a wee bit.
Has he?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being harsh. I was just throwing that.
This man loses weight.
I watched Deal or No Deal the other day. I was like,
do you have any opinions on Stephen Mulhern?
Beast. I just don't see a wider snake.
Don't sue the podcast. Don't sue me.
Nah, there's got to be some skeletons in that closet. There just has to be.
Why?
Nobody's that nice.
Oh well.
I seen him in Asda and Maryhill. Just got that vibe. He was in filming that In For a Penny thing.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Right, we'll move on for Stephen Mulhern and his dodgy ways. Shay asks, hopefully won't piss anyone off with this one like last time, but all sorted for the final?
Well, piss me off, alright. So I know you've not been done. How's your luck been done? Did you get a ticket?
But it's my birthday, so anybody just take me up, please. I don't trust it.
It's your birthday on the day of the final?
Day, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, obviously I was not balloted, but Ryan...
So I was live on stream the other night when I got balloted, and I kind of reacted live because I seen the email come through, and so funny because I was like, oh, I've been balloted for the final, which is great because I can't go in and a stream of people were like, I'll take it, and I was like, I think there's somebody else who kind of want it first. So Kieran's got my ticket. I've got Paul. I can't believe it. They're like, so this year has just been the worst year of my life when it comes to derbies. Philadelphia for the Ibrox free each game, which wasn't a huge deal because I wasn't exactly going to be there. But was in Philadelphia for that. I was in Berlin for the first one of the season, where we gave them a shagging, and I missed the party and everything. I nearly missed the one in March, the second one at Parkhead, because I'm going to Brussels for Monday Night Raw, but we've switched the days, so I will be there. I'll be at that game. We're going on the Monday now to Brussels, and now I'm missing this cup final because I'm going to see Paul McCartney. It's just, I can't believe it.
That's like King Mirror. I bet he's seen a bit of clash at Wales.
That was a derby,
I missed the full nutting game, so it was good atmosphere at the pub and that, but I was like, we were checking the fixture list at the start of the season, and I was like, guarantee this is going to be more at Wales, and
aye, because I done the reverse that time. I patched class to go to the derby, and I'll make up for it.
We've got an interesting question here for Nathan. I quite like. Rank the best kickoff times. So, 7:45 on a Saturday is so much better than 12 on a Sunday. He said. So, what would you, even if we were to just go around and say, what's your favourite kickoff time?
Right, okay.
Because I mean, you can think of past games and that, but
I like you to go that way.
I mean, I would personally say, I know we just had one, but see a 5:30 at Hampden on a Saturday, I think there's just something so good about it. You can go to the pub and you can, I mean, if you really want to rip the arse out of it, you can go for the early kick-off and get a card bet on that, and then watch the Coupons come in, then the bus leaves to... So I don't know, it's just something about a 5:30 semi-final at Hampden for me on a Saturday.
I agree with Kieran, to be honest. I think that way you've got all day to prepare for what you want to do. If you want to go for a pre-drink, post-drink after it, you've got plenty of time. Saturday, you could be going out to town after it. And, the only thing I'd say it's close is maybe like see the Wednesday night quarter to against Rangers. That's just, I love that. It's a long way, right enough, you're a bit nervy and that, but see just the feeling when you're going in, you could be like, have a drink before that. Just
I drink, many drinks. What about you, Cam? What's your favourite?
I don't know. I think it is that, or just the start. I feel pure boring. Like, I say a McGinley answer because it's a beige answer. A 3 o'clock Saturday. Like,
it's a rare occurrence
now. No, I was going to say mine's. I'm
that's
kind
of tips from me, but
we're on the same.
I couldn't see there because
I will tell you what the worst one is, but like the 4:30, thankfully we've not had much later, but 4:30 on a Sunday.
Anything on a Sunday
at Celtic Park.
What I want to say in relation to the point that who asked this question again, Shane?
Nathan asked this one.
What I'll say to Nathan is, I agree for going to game purposes. I think a Saturday 7:45 is better than an early Sunday, but for not going to the game, I'd rather an early Sunday. See, like this week, I'm quite raging at Saturday night. Because I just feel like I'm sitting about all day waiting, and I'm like, I just won the game. So, but again, I guess you could flip that and say, well, if it's Sunday early, you're waiting all weekend. So I don't know. But my favourite Saturday 3 o'clock, easy, just classic.
Aidan asks, can we afford to have one eye on Wednesday this weekend, especially if Aberdeen drop points earlier in the day? That's something I forgot. We would know their result by the time we kick off. Or do we, is it just a case of play the best team on Saturday, give it 100% and worry about fitness afterwards? We've kind of touched on things about, like, I don't think you'll be resting any players for midweek or that. I think this game on Saturday's got its own level of importance as well, so I don't think there'll be any real like rotation now, but I don't think it'll be a case of we'll be resting players for midweek.
My opinion is that you take every game at a time pace, and Saturday's just as important as Wednesday. So
I think it's that way as well. Wasn't there really a problem last time? I don't know, when you did the Aberdeen starting 11 and then Leipzig, 2 amazing performances back to back. So, and you've had the international break to recover from that. So
yeah.
Aaron Davies kind of talked about that already. His question was to do with the travel with the Japanese players coming back, and my message is get on with it. But I mean, he argues it seems to have impacted Maeda last international break, and he was a bit. I mean, it was that game he came back, so maybe I'm being harsh in my assessment here. But thanks for the question anyway.
End wokeness now.
High End Hoops. He talks about
sounds like some sort of porn website.
Well, sorry, Ryan over here's just disregarded your name on Twitter.
It's not the Thunder Club.
He thinks getting a winger is a priority in January. You can't rely on Palmer, Yang and Forrest. If, God forbid, Maeda and Kuhn got injuries or their form dipped drastically. I think that's a fair point, but the thing he spoke about at the end, I've seen a couple of people maybe talk about it, but do you think Johnny Kenny can come into the squad as third choice striker? I mean, in the figurative sense, him coming into to be the third choice striker, in terms of getting any game time, I don't think so.
Did he not score in a cup final or something? Or was it not? I think it was a cup final.
That was like the last day of the season. Yeah, in Ireland. I think there was like 2 or 3 teams up playing for that spot.
My opinion, when I've been asked about it, has been that very much well could. If Brendan Rodgers feels like he wants to give him a chance, he'll give him a chance. But I feel like it's one of those situations that I feel you need to take away any sort of fantasy booking aspect of things and look at it realistically. And my realistic outlook on it is he's just not going to get any minutes.
Fantasy booking.
Aye. Right.
The wrestling commentary coming out.
Exactly. the wrestling commentary is coming out. I mean, but people are kind of fantasy booking this reality where he comes in and he becomes third choice striker and he gets. It's not going to happen. And I don't mean that to be harsh. I'm just being honest. It's not going to happen.
Thanks for your question, High End Toops. Sorry about what Ryan said about your handle. But
it's a great handle. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just funny.
TJ Lindy asks about what 3 players you would sign for SPFL teams. We kind of touched on that. I think it's pretty.
Miller.
Liam says, hello Kieran, how are we? Hoping you're well. Your hair looked class last episode. Was just wondering if you're much of a chef in the kitchen and what's your go-to meal.
He is, by the way. Calum will testify to that. This tune's fucking putting in meals every day and I'm sitting there with my fucking same chicken burger off the Costco because it's all I can make.
It's a hello to you as well, Ryan.
Oh, me?
Sorry, Dylan. Sorry, Calum.
I know, that's a shame.
Liam, wanker.
Is it just a hello? He didn't ask me a question.
Nah.
The hair comment.
I mean, thank you for the compliment in the hair. I'm enjoying it while I've still got it. And then, and I mean, I don't think I'm very adventurous in the kitchen. I like.
I would say you're always brewing up something.
I mean, I like to try and be creative, but it's pretty much the same stuff here and there again.
I'm still to try and make something for my mythical cookbook.
Did you buy it?
I bought it I've had it for like 7 months now. Still not made anything.
Jack Daly says Strachan's team, Brendan Rodgers' first spell, Brendan Rodgers' second spell, rank them.
Oh. It would just purely going off the actual squad itself.
Why do I like? I mean, let's try and disregard the whole what they achieved and all that. Like, what if we just go the players they had in each of them? Who do you think beats who? Like, instead of trying to take into account all the stuff like getting to the last 16 in the Champions League. Let's just go player by player.
Oh, to simplify it, out of the 3 teams, who do you think would win? We'll just go for that, just to get through it quickly, if you like. I'll let Dylan start. You can work around.
It's actually quite a hard one because there's like there are stronger bits in different.
Aye, that's why I like that. Dylan, you can start.
I love his reaction. I'm really enjoying the football now. The 6-0 Aberdeen, 3-1 Leipzig. If we continue that some of that football away and through the season, you never know. I'd probably say that, but
okay.
Is that why Rodgers went invincible that first team?
I know.
I don't know.
Maybe you.
I think Rodgers' first spell.
Really?
It was just so good.
That's interesting because obviously when we done the combined 11, we were saying that we'd think that this team would win it a game between the two. But see now that I'm sitting here now, I'm starting to change my opinion a bit. But this is interesting because you said the second team, you said the first Rodgers team. I was going to say Strachan's because when I think of Strachan's team, I think of a great keeper in Artur Boric, which is I think the best keeper we've had this side of the millennium. I think of 2 great strikers in Scott McDonald and Jan Vennegoor Sellik, who I think are better than both the strikers we have. Well, maybe not Kyogo, but if you're going off current form in the side, you know, I think that they were better for Strachan than what Kyogo's been for Brendan Rodgers. And I think of the likes of Nakamura, who's probably one of the best players that's ever played for Celtic. So, like, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Strachan.
Samaras and all.
Yeah, Samaras and you know, a good centre half partnership in Caldwell and McManus and. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to throw a bone out and say Strachan's team.
That team found a way to win big games on it.
I don't. It's so hard because
I feel like my mind's always poisoned by recency bias because you get so swept up in the way the team plays at the current moment and think, oh, they'd fucking wipe the floor with McManus and Caldwell. But obviously,
McManus and Caldwell were brilliant. Maybe not brilliant, but they were good. They were good. They were solid.
But we'll do a couple more questions. A lot of them are sort of like Mark McQueen here's asked about Kyogo Nida being out of form, being shown up by the wingers. So I already kind of spoke about the heavy lifting that's been done, but we've not even spoke about it. What's your thoughts on the Christmas advert?
No, we haven't. We haven't spoke about it.
I've had a couple of people ask about that, but I genuinely think it's one of the better ones I've done in recent years. It's I didn't cringe to my bones as much as I usually do watching them, but aye. That's after them.
All your faces, wasn't it?
Nice wee cameos. That's what I liked. It was like an Avengers film or something. Like Scott Brown and one. Aye, and all these people popping out. Oh, where's fucking who was it that I proper popped for? Turned up. Who else was in it?
Henrik Larson,
Just
Joe
gonna
Hart,
say
Scott
him.
Brown.
Larson Brown. Was it a pure pop for some days? If it was like wrestling. I can't remember who it was. There's some.
Last Dance.
I was there. Can't remember now. It's going to annoy me, but I enjoyed it. I did like this year's. I thought it was good. You obviously went last year was when you worked for them, didn't they? And
I've done too.
was there somebody for the show was in it, weren't they, last year or something
They're
like that?
supposed to be, but then it kind of
It
was a humming and hawing thing and ended up not doing it. I feel quite bad from the bit gutted. I was like, I wasn't in it, so get up.
I'm going to finish up on Sean's question, even just one each, but
All right, okay.
he's wanting a recommendation for an FM save. I feel like this is
Oh, dude. There's only food questions.
there is, but we've been covered. I've got one here, and it's saying, would you think the worst item is on the menu at Celtic Park? I feel like there's so much stuff that I don't order, and I can't really say that's awful. But like,
Have you had anything though that's been like, bleh?
I don't think so. Like,
I'll be used to. Any of you ever had anything for Parkers and just thought I can't eat this?
I really like Celtic Park.
I just like
Kebab
it.
pie, macaroni pie, I love it all. But maybe the hot dogs are a bit mid.
I see. I don't like hot dogs, so that would be my answer. Aye.
I honestly don't know if I've ever had a hot dog at a...
I
I never take a hot dog.
take a hot dog.
But I just want to finish it off by showing you what somebody made in the replies to...
I don't know. McGinn sense.
I don't think the camera will pick it up, but you can go to the replies of the tweet to see it for yourself.
So the
but-
FM save was the last question, wasn't it?
Aye. So, I mean, you're into your FM.
I'm into my FM. Oh God, who have I had fun with this year? I'll tell you who I had quite a bit of fun with. I ended up leaving them after like 7 months, right enough, because I got the Mainz job. But I started a save with FC Ingolstadt in the 3rd division of Germany. And it's not necessarily saying Ingolstadt, but I actually really like the Tri-Liga. I like the challenge. Because when you're in like the 3rd division of another country, you can't just sign players that you would sign for like the 3rd division of a Scottish team or an English team, because you can't really just sign all these players that you normally would for like smaller Scottish and English teams, because the stature's different. Obviously, people don't want to leave home and stuff like that, and your scouting network's completely different as well, because if you're in the 3rd league, they're only going to really be scouting the lower German league, so you kind of build a scouting network of your own, you know. And I enjoyed it, so I'd recommend anybody in the Tri-Liga, but Ingolstadt was fun. That'd be mine.
What I keep going a bit now, the pizza pasta bowl Palermo.
Oh,
So good. It's class because obviously when I'm in obviously Serie B, it's class to then get them back up to Serie A, but
it's a
it
good one.
is fucking horrible the first season you get back up. So it's just keeping them up. But once you've done that and you can then start to build them.
I done a run off Ingolstadt because there was like 13 of my 25-man squad's contract expiring, and I was like, I can't deal with this. Mine, so I'll take that job, thank
It
you.
was a team based fully on loans and come back in for them again the second season. That's what
I've been
done it.
there.
But I definitely Palermo was a good laugh.
You done?
It's probably boring, right? But me and my pals, last time we played it last year, we just done like an online one.
Oh, I
And
love
it was
a young lady.
boring answer, but we just did the Prem and then picked the big six, split one each, and then it was quite. It was quite good. It was tense and that, because obviously they were trying hard on it, and I was just sort of.
It's good.
It was good.
I
Good
love
fun
it.
with your pals.
Yeah, we done one at the start of the year, and we done like the big six, and it was really fun. But on that note, we done an online save. Here's another shout as well. Tell you who's fun to manage this year: Fulham. I'd recommend Fulham. Fulham are really fun because they've got a wee bit of money behind them, and because of the exciting, like their squad is good, man. Like Smith Rowe and Anderson coming in are two big signings. So if you get a squad update and you go Fulham, recommend it.
Anybody in Argentina?
Oh,
I've been playing my Boca Juniors career mode recently.
I see you're a career mode man, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. I need to see it in front of me properly.
None of these notes running a bit.
But thanks everybody for the questions.
Thank you.
Sorry if I never got round to it. That says about the hour mark.
We're on the hour mark, so it means we can jump to the quiz and finish up for the main episode, which I believe Calum has prepared us a quiz this week, a three-way quiz.
So I've managed to get
You
one.
what?
A threesome, some would call it.
Right, so how am I going to do this in terms of house taking?
So the last
So
quiz
starting how
we
we
done was the three-man show between us three, and who won? Who was it? Dylan, did you win?
No.
Did you not win it?
Did I win?
I think Kieran won.
Right, okay, so Kieran, I guess, gets to choose if. Well, we'll have to. Well, we all
What
done
was the
well.
last question? I can't remember.
It's been so long.
Aye.
We done. I remember. Was it the half time quiz when we done the football rondo thing? It was like A B C D E F.
Aye, and then you won that.
Aye.
there was that.
Here's an idea. Here, I'll tell you. Dylan, heads or tails, son?
Tails.
Sorry, heads or tails? Heads. So, Kieran, you get to pick first. I'll go last. So, set A, B, or C.
I'll go A.
Dylan.
See.
He stayed away from B. So, I'm B. I'm in the middle.
Ryan, so...
Oh, it's Kieran first. Not me.
Kieran
I'm
first,
set
sorry,
A.
you took A. Apologies, my bad. So, the first round of questions are all based on our last visit to Tynecastle. So, Kieran, on our last visit to Tynecastle, so a 2-0 defeat for Celtic, who were the scorers for Hearts that day?
I was actually looking at this earlier as well. Shankland one of them,
Yep, that is number 1.
and then was it Grant?
I was going to say him.
It was indeed. Grant scored the first and Shankland scored not long after. Kieran takes a 1-0 lead there.
You know, I wouldn't have got Shankland there, and it would have been like the most obvious.
Was it a
player.
penalty?
Aye.
Aye.
It was indeed.
See, what that's a good one, I think.
So
Oh,
then was
Me.
you next.
Me
You
then
were
down.
set
B.
B. So following up on this, Celtic did score first, however it was disallowed. Who scored the disallowed goal?
Oh, God almighty. Maida.
It was Adam Ida. that scored.
Bastards.
Oh, aye.
And then so it finished at 1-0, but to take yourself into a 1 each here, Dylan. Finally, in this game, who was, in my opinion, wrongfully sent off?
Yang.
It wasn't.
I didn't get that one.
A kick that did not touch his head whatsoever. That was Cochrane.
Just
Fuck you.
means that Yang had a pure bit of form, that, like, running up to that game.
Aye. That was
Aye.
a decent get a
That's
start.
when
And
McGinley said he was
Check
going
it
to be
out.
the next big king.
then, so we're at 1-1-0. Kieran, come back to yourself. Since Brendan Rodgers returned to Celtic, how many times has he beaten Hearts domestically? So within the league.
Beat them this season. Beat them at the start of last season. Played them 3.
That is correct. He's beaten them 3 times, as he touched on the 2-0 earlier on this season, and the 2 previous.
Because we lost 2 games back to back to them 2-0. The one at Celtic Park, one at Tynecastle. Won the other 3.
The only team to beat us twice last season.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. So this round, sorry, I should have said, is obviously just connecting directly Brendan Rodgers.
Oh,
Games
right, okay.
against Hearts.
Okay.
So then it was yourself on set
Me said B.
B. That was, sorry, my bad. So during Brendan Rodgers' full time at Celtic, this is both terms.
Mm-hmm.
How many times has he been on the end of a defeat from Hearts?
Well, thank you for
Bastard.
Thank you for giving me the heads up with the 2 that he lost beforehand. So he lost 2 last season. Is this league only?
Yes, just
Right,
just
league
in the
only.
league.
I mean, it could only be the league anyway, because it's not as if he lost any cup games in his first time here. So he lost twice in the league to them last season. He lost 4-0 to them at Tynecastle that one time, so that's 3. He lost when we were in Zante and Kyle Lafferty scored. That makes it 4. Now, is that it? There's none that are coming back to me immediately. I'm going to go with a 4.
You would be correct as the 4th time.
I was hoping you were going to forget the Zante game.
Nah,
man.
I can't forget every time that Celtic have ruined the holiday for the game, which is far too many.
It's fine, so we are currently at 2-1-1. Dylan, to put yourself joint with Kieran. Of those 4 defeats, what was the aggregate score? Oh,
Basically,
we debaters have set each other up for the fucking question. Need
That's
chit
why I
chat
would-
next.
that's why I
Need chit
hope
chat
you
next
don't
round.
think aloud. But
See, to be fair, I can't actually. I think I remember the score for the Lafferty game, but
I was literally about to say that. I remember them all except for that.
I can't remember what. If it, there's 2 scores going in my head, and I just can't remember what one it is for certain.
I know, that's the only one I'm uncertain of.
Aye.
Oh, I can't remember that score, man. Just try to remember strip it laugh. Thank you. Was that just for some reason I can't think of anything else that happened that game, so I'm just going to say 4-0. It's 2-0, 2-0. 9-0.
it was indeed 9-0.
I was stuck
The 4
between
games.
9-0 and 10-1.
I couldn't remember.
So,
Honestly,
every
I couldn't
time
remember
I've
it was
been
1-0
on-
or 2-1.
Every time we're on the end of a defeat, we've been yet to score.
It didn't sound right, and I was like 9-0.
So it then moves into
Round
Kieran.
3.
So back to set A. So, Brendan Rodgers' first visit to Tynecastle, his first time round, so it's 2-1 victors. But who was the scorers on that day?
The first game
Aye,
we
so
played
his first
them.
time at Tynecastle. So, as I said, beat them 2-1. Who was the scorers that day?
Oh, shit. It was Scott Sinclair, but
Yep.
who got the first?
Couldn't tell you if you had a gun in my head.
I'm trying to think if it was any there that like outside of the usuals. I'm going to just say Griffiths.
That's what I was going to go for.
It was James Forrest.
Ah.
That's the scorer that day.
Oh, I've got a chance to equalise here. Come on!
It's fine. You were set B, Ryan, yeah?
That's the one.
So I'm just getting myself right. So, going back to that 2-1 game, so again, this would all tie into each other. Who was the scorer for Hearts that day?
Fucking hell. Who's playing for Hearts back again?
Fucking hell, that's a question.
Aye, that is a question.
I've tried to keep them all the same theme each other
That is a question.
for each one.
Who would have been up front for Hearts at that time?
See, and there's only one thing that makes it stand out for me.
I was going to say that's how I remember.
I don't know the answer, but I remember a striker that played for them back then. I'm like, I wonder what he's up to nowadays.
Oh, dear.
Can I give him a clue? It doesn't really
Yeah,
give
clues.
John Sutter.
Fair enough.
John Sutter.
It was not. It was Jamie Walker. It was a penalty.
Remember he dived.
Tierney went to go in for the challenge, but he stops himself. Walker
I don't even know what age if John Sutter was even in the first team at that point.
Oh, I could not have told you.
So
Was he even at Hearts at that point?
because did he play for Dundee United? Aye.
I don't know, to be
At
fair.
the time, aye.
I forgot about that. He probably was. So that's a terrible guess for me. Anyway,
So we come across.
Dylan to take the lead then.
If you're done, yeah, to take the lead.
We bought this, man.
I'm sorry, so it was set C. So later in the season, we beat Hearts at Tynecastle in a game that all but clinched the title. What was the score that day?
Oh, no. Oh, 5-0.
It was,
I was going to say
indeed.
the 3-1, but that was a season later, wasn't it? So I was...
It was indeed. It was
I didn't
5-0
know that shit,
Celtic.
man.
That was the day we get the
So it's
Feetchenko dance.
oh, aye.
It's the only reason it sticks.
That's
in
right.
mind.
So it's 3-2-1 going into round 4.
2-1. It is
Adding
indeed.
Roberts screaming.
So coming back. Sorry. So
Kieran.
yep, aye, Kieran, sorry, set A. So this game involves the introduction to VAR within Scotland. Celtic played Hearts at Tynecastle, but what was the score that day, Kieran?
4-3 Celtic.
It was indeed. So we take Celtic up to
What a game, man.
3
How stressful was that?
I know.
3-1. Ryan, take yourself on to second point here. Set B. So again, can you name me? I'll give you 3 out of the 4 scorers.
No. I can't. I tell you, all these games, they run away from me, man. I can't remember anything about them. So it was when VAR was introduced, which was Ange's first
So it was
season.
the
second
game
season?
that I'll give you obviously because we've mentioned the game with it. So it was a game where there was a controversial handball.
Mhm.
It was then not given in our favour, but one given against us right before it.
Kyogo.
No.
Oh, I
But-
give up.
So you
I
could
give
have
up
had a
already.
choice of James Forrest,
Can
Yakimakis,
I guess one? Greg Taylor?
Greg Taylor. Greg Taylor
Aye.
scored the winner
Mm.
to make it 4-3, and it Dyson Maeda.
Fuck.
You had the choice of.
Do you know the worst part is I had a feeling Forrest was by him. Maida was going to be my second guess, but as soon as I said Kyogo and it was, I was like, oh,
Was
fuck
Forrest
this.
goal that day? No, a bit of a peach as well.
Eh,
Carlton.
I has kind of
like,
flicks up and he gets a
exception,
wee knock on.
Aye.
Who scored the second again?
Yakimakis.
Oh,
It's a
aye.
header.
So it was, aye.
Right, so we're coming into Dylan. So, in this game, the 4-3 game, who netted the goals in the opposition side that day?
Oh my god, man.
You wouldn't think this game was only 2 years ago. I can't remember it.
I got proper brain fog, man.
Can't tell you who scored in the last game. I genuinely, who scored against Kelly again? Genuinely, Kuhn.
I couldn't.
That was it. Was it finished 1-0?
And it was Calum, but
Aye.
slash Edav at the
So you think I'm joking when I asked that question? I genuinely couldn't remember who scored in that
One
game.
goal's got a lot of them.
So obviously the question was just down as who netted the goals for the opposition on this day.
No chance I'm getting off free. Sutter one though.
Was not.
I don't know.
So again, that could have been murdered a bit better. It was a Shankland hat-trick that day. Scored 2 penalties.
Oh no!
And scores one for
Because he
shoots,
missed
but
one and
then-
it got retook.
Aye.
Oh come on.
So it's
Indeed.
a tie. You may as well just leave me out of this round, Calum.
Saves a bit of time, man.
Yeah, no, genuinely, just just leave me out. Just don't
So
Set
Kieran,
Amy.
your final question. This one involves Celtic and playing Hearts within cup finals. Celtic successful in the final. Celtic beat Hearts 2-1 to secure a treble.
Snuck in that day.
He did indeed, actually.
Aye, actually did.
So for the obviously Celtic winning 2-1, who made the assist, which was essentially their final touch as a Celtic player for the second goal?
Mikael Lustig.
It was indeed. I went on to his final touch.
Surprised I can remember it. Was pissed.
I was fucking bored. I needed the courage to try and bribe my way into the game. That was carried me through.
That's Kieran's took the win there, isn't it?
No,
no,
Dylan has a
Dylan
chance
can
to.
So you have, sorry,
Aye,
so
aye.
I can still go for. My bad, apologies there. Ryan, still give you your question
Oh,
anyway.
Christ.
Following the cup final between
Craig
the
Loving.
two, the COVID final, the 3 each,
Mm-hmm.
which Celtic player missed a penalty?
Oh my god.
Christopher Ayer.
No,
It's not, he scored,
scored
the
the
winner.
winner.
It was
Oh, aye.
Ryan Christie.
So he did, aye.
Typical of that cunt that season, man.
I knew Ayer had some sort of significance in the
Scored
penalty
winner.
shootout.
Fucking leathers it down the middle.
Aye.
So down to yourself into a draw here. The sides have met in 5 cup finals overall. What is the score across those finals? So not the aggregate scored in goals, just who's won them.
5 cup finals like ever.
Yep.
Wow.
Never met each other in the League Cup final, only the Scottish Cup final.
Aye.
It's the only time they've ever played each other.
Was the penalties one, the 2-1?
I can only think of 3.
I'd have to
That's
actually
the
just
whole time,
guess.
Yep.
Aye, you've been fucked here, Dom.
I did just try to give everybody a kind of cup final feel.
I'll just say did we win all 5?
We did not. We are currently at 3-2 in terms of the wins.
That's
So
it.
your victor is Mr. Kieran Auld, and 4 out of 5. Must say, I did apologise. You were quite hard, but I'd fuck all else to do and much.
That was good. I enjoyed it. I'm just fucking. I don't have a brain that works, Calum, so it's not your fault. Well done, Kieran. You've been one of these podcast trinkets.
I'm sorry to the leathered boys, but I'm taking the set.
What are you choosing for the set if you get to choose any Homer?
That's the bit out of the belt, surely.
Oh, well, aye, the belt, aye.
I quite like some of the wee Funko Pop things.
Aye.
I think I'll take Doc Brown.
Doc Brown's gone to road with Kieran. Right, that'll do us for this. We're going to get onto the Thunder Club and do it quickly and try and get out of here for the next 20 minutes or so. So if you're tuning into us over there, then please feel free to come watch. But as for the main episode, that's us today. Thank you, lads.
Pleasure as
Cheers.
always.
And we'll see you on the other side.